Good morning and good morning. I tell you, it's chilly and then warm, and then it's warm and then chilly, and then it's raining. So I don't know what it's going to be. I think it's supposed to rain over the weekend, so I'm not looking forward to that part, but I'm here. I'm here. How are you this morning? Good to see you in the space. Come on in. Come on in. I got a cute little word for us today. With temperatures rising, not outside, but on occasion it will. But inside, who we are, what's going on, it's maybe making us frustrated, maybe making us angry, maybe making us with having anxiety, but a lot is going on in our lives. A lot. One of the things I've been working on lately is how do I decompress? How do I stay calm? How do I stay me in spite of other people being themselves or being, multiple people all in one? Because if you watch, you will see. If you pay attention and make note, you will see that there's a lot of change, a lot of change in regards to what people will say to you. I think I told you someone gave me the finger the other day, and it just kind of really took me back. I was like, what did I do? I'm just turning the corner, but you never know what you did. Sometimes it may be that that's what they did. They just decided that, you deserve that, whatever that was going on. Good morning, Joan. How are you? How's Jim? How y'all doing? What's happening? I had a cute little word for us today, flout. And I'll tell you what it is in a minute, because we're seeing people flout a lot lately. I'm trying not to be a part of that. I'm so trying not to be. I just want to live my life where, I'm feeling comfortable in who I am and allowing people to be what? Debbie. I said I was going to call you today if I did not hear from you. Thank you so much, because I've been worried. We've been praying. Joan, there she is. I talked to her a couple of weeks ago. Debbie, how are things? You can just say good, bad, in between, but let us know how things are. Still praying for you, still trying to make sure that, we care, we're concerned. Thanks, Joan. I'm glad you're well. You and Jim. I'm gonna turn off my phone. I don't know what. I've been working early this morning. I've been working this morning, and my daughter calls me every day knowing that I'm online. Doing good. Thank you. But for some reason, my child forgets that her mama comes online Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I'm gonna turn us off, so then she can't call me and I can see it anymore. But anyway, so glad to have you sweet ladies. Welcome back, Debbie. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. I'm excited about today's word. And just to let you know that I have thought about it. It took me a minute before I, ran around and all of the words that are out there before I came up with this word. And it's not like it's a long word in length, but it's an interesting word to me. FLOUT, flout. An interesting word. Oh, thank you so much. I've missed all you. Trust me. We knew it. You told me so when I talked with you, that we knew you missed us. We missed you too. So anyway, let's get into it, because I don't want to keep you all long today. But I found this poem that pretty much talks about maybe the temperament sometimes in our lives, that even though we're not traveling at a rate to insult or really be at opposition with people, but it says sometimes we're in between. And I'm going to talk about the in between. This is by, her name is Jade. It says Jade Vanacore, Vanacore, Vanacore. And the year she said it was posted was in 2024. Don't know what month or anything, but I found it online and it is copyrighted. So it says the in between. It says, what is there to hold on to if you don't even know yourself? There's nothing worse than a hardened heart that yearns to crack and spill all over, bleeding for the truth, finally breaking free, thickened by time, grown into leather loose, ignorance, misdirect, energy trapped and bound, waiting in the dark. No one goes in or out, so softly it whimpers for deliverance, questioning whether anyone exists to hear, yet it longs to cry harder, to yell with passion, to scream wildly with the force of true surrender, an unrelenting frenzy capable of compelling a worthy answer. The loss of control promises a sigh of relief. Ah, oh, but resignation is a tight fitting muzzle that stifles the sound and it chokes on the words. Despairing, it struggles to forget, knowing full well it cannot bless, cursed, a cruel and thankful, a cruel and beautiful game, stuck in between. Who doesn't dream of opening up an entire lifetime or more, pouring out, free of the chest? A hollow shall never so complete. Isn't that interesting? What a work. Okay. How many of us really need to let go, but we find out that we're in between the letting go and holding on to the things that we may want to yell about, scream about, but feeling trapped. I think we're seeing that in between right now. We see people that are on all kinds of roads, different, the same, angry, happy, up, down, frustrated, caring, loving, whatever. We see it. Loving, hating, we see it. We see it. And what this says is that where are we? Are we stuck holding on to stuff that we can't get rid of? Who do we tell it to? Where do we go? What do we do? Good morning, Calithia. What do we do with it? Today our word is flout. Let's talk about flout. So anyway, that poem, if you want to find it, is by Jade Vanacore, Vanacore. Good poem. Good. So flout says it's having openly disregard of a rule, law, or convention. It says it's a time when you might see defiance, refuse to obey. It says they'll go up against. You will see people rebelling, or a scorn. It says it has a way of realizing that there's disdain and contempt for anything, fly in the face of, thumbs to one's nose to, or whatever, make a fool of, disobey, break, violate, infringe, and breach. All those words are heavy. And all I can think of is, where's jail? I think of all the things of breaking the law, violating people and property, all those things that to me scare me. I've never been in jail, never want to go to jail. I don't even like to visit a jail. And I remember when I was younger, my mother used to say, well, I already told my kids if they get in jail, I'm not going down there. Well, my one brother went to jail for child support. It was a child support issue. But, later on, they found out that some of the children weren't even his. That's a secret, but you'll know it now. But in fact, most of them, maybe all of them. But anyway, but what I'm saying is sometimes we might get in trouble with that whole concept of I don't know what to do. I'm stuck in between. you know, or I'm so angry I'm going off. I don't want to ever get to the point where I'm angry and I'm going off because I don't want to land anywhere that I don't want to land. Good morning, Miss Rosie. How are you? Today our word is flout. And flout is open disregard. Okay, open disregard. And they're not going to come back. It says will not obey rules, laws, or convention. They've just gone in the opposite direction. Okay. And some people can look back in recent history or distant history, and we can see where people just decided that they had enough and they were going in the reverse. They were going to do what they wanted to do as opposed to what the law said or what the rules said. You know, I always used to, when I was in school and as a counselor, and kids were sent to me, and I said, so how did you get to come to see me? And they would always say, I don't want to do that. I said, but is there a rule for you to do it? Yes, but I don't want to do that. Okay, so what do you think you should be doing? I said, you think you should be sitting with me? So sometimes you have to roll it back, take them through it. And they said, no, I don't think I should. I said, do you want to go home? Because if I can't get you to settle down and go back to class, then you can't stay in my office because I have other work to do. So that means that you're going to have to go home or into detention. I said, and detention's not until after school. So you got to get through the day. So I walk them back through it. And sometimes if you walk people back through the problem, they can see the problem. Sometimes. So when we break the word down this morning, and I ask you occasionally, are you stuck? Are you one who says that you flout? That you want to go up against any rules, any directions, any convention? Do you do that? Well, and I guess if we break the law, if we run through a red light, we have done it. You know, I've done it. I'm occasional, but not with the new one that they have here for $158. No, thank you. Every time I get close to that light, I almost get like where I slow down because I don't want to be the one that gets through the light, and the light is probably on a faster time frame for that, so I don't do it. But anyway, we break the word down. My F of flout is foolish. How many of us occasionally are foolish? We are. But it's the extremist foolishness when you're talking about flout, extreme. It says of a person or action lacking good sense or judgment and unwise. Okay. Sometimes we get to be unwise. Okay. Forget about it. I know that's right. Forget about it. That's the truth. You're so funny. You're back. But sometimes we do need to forget about it for whatever the reason, you know, but I don't want to be foolish to the point where I forget what I'm supposed to be doing in earnestness and honesty. Am I doing it right? Good morning, Adelia. Today our word is flout. Openly disregard any rules, any laws, and sometimes convention. Okay. We defy ourselves. We do what we want to do versus what it says we should do. Okay. And I know that there's a flush it. Debbie, you're already cracking me up. You're back. Sometimes we have to realize that we cannot change the rules, okay? But we have to change our reaction to the rules. So, because it's always, every time we see it's going to make us go off, that means we have to learn a new way of reacting. Frustrated, that's good. Because sometimes we do get frustrated. Let's face it, we get frustrated with a lot of things. You know, taxes keep going up. Eggs, you know, people cutting you off, all that. But I don't want to be foolish about it. I do not. You know, if I can't afford but 2 eggs, I'm only buying 2 eggs. You know, if somebody's going to cut me off, I'm not going to flip them off. I'm not going to do that because that may escalate the issue. I don't want anything escalating on me. I don't want it to be where I become the fool. Because I started it. I don't say I started it in that instance as if they're doing something to me, but I would start where what I call that fault line, where all of a sudden things start collapsing. I don't want that to be. I may know that somebody else, you know, did something that offended me, but I don't want to be foolish about my reaction. That's just me. I'm not interested in it. But I said foolish, and foolish is person lacking good sense and judgment. And it says that they could be stupid. These are not my words, okay? Idiot, half witted, brainless, mindless, thoughtless, imprudent, unwise, and unintelligent. So foolish has a deep, deep root to it, okay, that adds all these things that all go down. Okay, that root is deep. Well, I don't want anybody calling me stupid or an idiot or half witted, unintelligent, mindless. I don't. That's just Sandy. That's Dr. Winnie. I'm not interested in that. So in order to keep myself out of the flout category, FLOUT, I need to be mindful, which is what that poem I read was talking about. How do we stay in between? Where we, even though we've been offended, how do we stay, where we know we would love to say more. We would love to add lily language to it and tell you off a little bit, but what what would it do? Maybe escalate, maybe make it worse. So sometimes we have to be mindful about what it is that we do and not allow ourselves to be foolish on that flout excursion, because I believe flout just allows us to realize that we could be the ones who define who we are in the moments that we exist, that may be showing us to be all the things that we don't want to be, and maybe giving others a false sense of who we are. False sense. So we move on in the word of flout, FLOUT. My L is for law breaking. Okay, they're not law abiding people. If people decide that they're going to break the law or break the rules, or realize that the convention has already decided that they don't want to be a part of it, so they're going to do the opposite. That's law breaking. And it says, as looking at it in a criminal sense, that means it's restrained by or under the control of legal authority. Now, we know we have legal authority all over this country, all over the world. There's legal authorities going on, lousy. I know that's right, y'all. So there's legal authority for anywhere. Like if you decide that you're going to go to another country, okay, they're going to check you out before you get there, most of them. And I remember when I was preparing to go to Australia 2 years ago, they had like the longest treatise application I've ever seen. It was long, and then it had all these things that it asked. Have you ever been in trouble? Have you ever had HIV? I mean, they have everything you can think of. They run you down before you get there. Okay. So by the time you get there, you have to be where you need to be. Liar, that's good. A liar, a little man syndrome. Okay. Okay, y'all are talking out. I hear you. I hear you. The interesting thing about law breaking is that after a while, and I mentioned this the other day, when what is good becomes bad and what is bad becomes good, and that shows you that the level of our acceptance has kind of waned, or the level of our tolerance has fallen off, or the level of our honesty of what really is happening has kind of shifted. That's scary, but nonetheless, it certainly has shown that law breaking is not as big a deal as it used to be. At one time, you broke the law. Not only were you fearful for yourselves, but you were fearful in your absence, especially if it required you to be in jail. You are fearful for what's going to happen to your family while you're in jail, or to anybody else related to you. So to me, it had ingrown issues, for me. I couldn't imagine ever being in jail. I've never broken the law, not knowingly. I can honestly say. And if it is, it was truly, truly minor, like, a traffic violation. That's the biggest thing Dr. Winnie's done. I'm just not into trying to make myself be the stayer of at a over, like, it wouldn't be overnight, maybe a 2 or 3 day stay at an unpopular facility. I'm just not interested in it. So for me, I'm looking, how can I stay away from being a criminal or being rebellious? That's law breaking. Or illegal, illicit, disorderly, defiant, felonies. I've never had that. Unlawful, unruly, and wrongful. But the thing is that there's a lot of people who have gotten in those categories, or those descriptions, not by something that they did, but by something someone said they did, or it could be wrongfully accused or whatever. So sometimes, even when things are given or received, or they've not been earned, the crime doesn't, determine the outcome, because sometimes the crime never happened with those persons. And then you have people that go around and try to undo what law did, what the law kind of set up to do. But anyway, when we move on our word of flout, we talk about people who are out of control. Now, I can honestly say I've never been out of control. If you've been out of control about anything, you can put it in there. That says when you're out of control, no longer possible to manage. All of a sudden, you just gone off the deep end. Could be very angry, very distracted, very disgusted, out of control. You may be the kind of person that's volatile in your nature of out of controlness, throwing things or cursing or aggressive behavior, out of control. Okay. Outsiders. Okay. That's good. Obnoxious. Yeah. We've had people, we've seen people that have done those things. They've seen them, watched them do it. But guess what? For them, they may have gotten punishment and they may have been considered to be foolish and law breaking, but other times it's been okay for them. They've still been able to surface, to live, free and go about their business. But when people are out of control, it says they are uncontrollable, okay, unmanageable, wild, disorderly, unruly, and obstreperous. I always seem like it's just too many, but obstreperous is another word that pretty much talks about just being out of control. When I was in the school system, sometimes I would see kids that were just absolutely out of control. Fight the teachers, throw the chairs, throw anything that they had, their book bags, their shoes, anything. I can honestly say I'm blessed. God covered me because they never did it to me. They never did to me. They usually did it to the people that they felt were rude to them, or felt that they were being mean to them, and then they would just go off, and that was it. And they were out of school, and sometimes they may have even been sent to an alternative school just because they were out of control, but out of order. How many of us know order? Okay, I remember one of the first things my mother told us to do, that before we even went to school, that when we went to school, we had to learn how to line up. So my mother taught us how to line up before we even went to school. We knew how to line up, and I'm being the baby. I was still lining up at 3 and 4, but that's what Lily said, line up. So eventually when we got to school, teacher said, line up. We knew what to do. She didn't have to say, I want you here and there. Now, sometimes she had to move me because I thought I was supposed to be at the head of the line, only because I was at the back of the line in my house. So I thought, oh, okay, y'all got that. That's what I thought. But anyway, we move on in our word of flout, which is openly disregard for rules, laws, and convention. We're seeing that now in a lot of things that people see on television. They may hear it on the radio. They may see it in stores or in streets, but it is happening. So my U is for unmanageable, difficult or impossible to manage, manipulate, or control. And sometimes we don't even realize that we're a part of the manipulation too. Okay. Even if we didn't play the initial part, which is to get into trouble, we're part of it if we're trying to get somebody out of trouble. Okay. We're still, so there's a still manipulation part there anyway, because we believe in the person and hoping that they didn't do what it said that was done, but we're not sure. Undetermined. Oh, that's good. And unbelievable. Both of those are great words, because sometimes you realize that we can't determine whether somebody did or didn't do it. We just have to believe as best we can that they didn't, you know. And then in terms of believing, if it's undetermined, if it's believable enough to us that we would fight for them, that we would go to bat for them. But we don't know. We never know. You know, we just try to put our trust in what it is that they said that they did or did not do. And some people, it will leave with them when they leave this earth that they didn't do something, but they did. They did. They did. Untrusted. Oh, wow. That's good. Unnecessary, untrusted, unbelievable, undetermined. Yes, absolutely. Sometimes we will go through life realizing that all of those things apply. Everything. That we can't trust everything we hear. We can't make it necessary that we not only don't believe it, so it is unbelievable, but we're determined that we still have to keep our own way. And sometimes that may be, like the poem said, in between. We're in the middle. We're in the middle. Sometimes we're in the middle of conversation and all of a sudden we realize that who we're talking to didn't hear us, you know, or they didn't listen, or they missed it, you know. And we're trying to help them, especially if it's a situation where they were considered to be in disregard of what was happening to them, meaning by the law, by the rules. You know, you can look at young children and, you know, they know the rules, but when they don't abide by them, it's kind of hard to make them come back around the circle to say that, yeah, I did it. And I knew it was a rule that I shouldn't have done. I shouldn't have broken. It's hard, you know, untouchable. So they think, yeah, there's a lot of people that feel that things are untouchable for them, that they are untouchable. I've never thought myself to be untouchable, never. I always been on the side of caution, you know. Even when I lived abroad, I was worried about, you know, even though I'm not in trouble, what if the carabinieri stops me and all of a sudden I'm in trouble for something that I didn't do, you know? And that was the only thing about living abroad, is that you didn't know. You didn't know if you know, somehow or another somebody planted something in your car and there you are living, you know, outside of your own nation, your own birth nation, and you don't know what to do. But thank God I made it through overseas, so it was okay for me. But for others, I knew for a fact that they had trouble overseas, and so coming back was actually a welcome thing for them, because they needed to get back. They needed to restore themselves. Sometimes we can't always restore ourselves to where we were before, because we can't get to that level of comfort, you know. We just don't. We just can't. So when we're unmanageable, it says that sometimes we're troublesome, demanding, awkward in our ability to even express where we're at. We've been inconvenienced, and we've inconvenienced others. It says we may be unruly, meaning we're talking to somebody and they'll flare up. They won't listen. They don't hear you. They don't get it, you know. It also says they may be disorderly, which is what we talked about earlier, and they may be rowdy, you know, disorderly and rowdy. Rowdy, you know, when I've seen people that are just out of control, I say, okay, time to go. You know, I'm not going to run to the fight. I'm not. You know, I know there's some people who will, ooh, they fighting over there. No, that's okay. You know, something really bad happened, they'll be the first one to be trying to get me to say what I witnessed. I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm not that. And the last thing, my T, yay, my T today for flout is for transgress. Transgress, infringe, or go beyond the bounds of moral and principle or other established standards of behavior. They go beyond the moral, I would say the moral compass or the moral value, the principle of certain things. What would be considered standard behavior is they've gone outside that. Temper. Ooh, that's good right there. That's good right there. Temper. How many of us have seen temper? Toxic. Yes. Yes. Temper, toxic. Oh, good words. Great words, because we know that sometimes we've seen behavior which is absolutely unbelievable. Whoever said that. Joan, unbelievable. We've seen unbelievable behavior. And we cannot even say that once it's over, we can't imagine all that we witnessed. We can't. It's just like, wow, you know. And I have seen that, but I'm ready to go in the opposite direction. I want to be the witness to it again and again and again. So when something has that, what I would call that toxicity to it, it is what they call the transgress, and because it's gone beyond what would be considered normal behavior, you know. And a lot of times people, once again, have normalized what misbehaving is all about. They've normalized what true anger or true things that are against the law are okay with now. Whatever it is, it's been accepted. That's scary. Scary to me. Traitors, ooh, wow. Turncoats, huh? Ooh, I just found that one. Thank you, Kalithi. Turncoats. But yeah, it's true. You know, sometimes you just find that people will go in a different direction, not for the good of the thing, but for the negative of it. The negative of it, because it gives, you know, to me, there's power in both negativity and positivity. There is. You know, if you can get more people to be positive, it would wipe out the other folks that are negative. But if you have people that are negative and they're able to really, you know, sweep it up, and everybody's believing it as is being swept up over them, then that's it. They're a part of the wave, of that wave of folks that have decided that works for them. And throttle shooters. I love it, Debbie. Oh my gosh, that's great. Wow. Throttle shooters. You all right with me, girl. So anyway, when we have these folks that do this transgressing, it says that they will misbehave and they will break the law and they will have lapses of, why, what, me? I'm right. I know I did, but I'm right in doing it. I was justified. You know, my reasoning is important. You need to understand that. They also said that they will commit offense, not worry about it, and will do wrong and feel there's no correction to make it right. These are our times that we're living in. These are our times. You know, our lives are what this poem says, the in-between. The in-between. How can you say you really know yourself? Are you one to do things that grab attention and escalate the wrong and then miss the opportunity to correct it? Something to think about. But I don't want to be me. I'm going to go to my higher power and say, I don't want God, my God, to strike me, you know, since he's put me in a position to talk about things like this. I'm hoping people are realizing that, you know, there's positive and negatives to everything. And what you do with your life, as limited as we have down here in the first place, we have to look at what good am I doing? not just for myself, but for others. So that's our word for today, flout. Look it up. Look up the word flout. I'll be back on Monday. Now, next Friday and possibly the following Monday, I don't know. Thank you. Thank you, Ardelia. Love you. Love all of y'all. I'm just so happy that you guys come to hang out with me. But my daughter's going to have some surgery. So it's going to be major surgery. So I'm going to take off a few days to be with her, unless I can go to like a place in the hospital and I can write it up, because I'll probably have a lot of good words for you by at the time I come up out of there with her. But I'll have some good words, and if I can find it, because I might be able to, while she's sleeping or something, just come and work that Monday. But I know that Friday I won't, because she'll still be in surgery, and so I want to be available for that. But I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. I will always remain humble to who I am, and the fact that I'm blessed to do what I do. Okay, I'm going to see you on Monday. I will definitely be here this coming Monday. You be here too. Okay, hit the share button and let them know that there's somebody out there that cares enough to ask, "Are you stuck? Come on in the room. Come on in our place." And have some time with us. Okay? Love you dearly. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye. Prayers to you. Thank you. Thank you, Deb. Love you guys. Bye-bye.